Today we're discussing what is a flood map. This is going to be your guide to flood maps. We're going to talk about what is it, where can you find it, how does it impact flood insurance rates. Stay tuned in this video if you're a homeowner, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a real estate investor trying to navigate the whole understanding of flood map. Hello, my name is Chris Green, president and owner of the Flood Insurance Guru, and today we're talking about what are flood maps. Like you see here in the corner, flood maps are what the National Flood Insurance Program or the Federal Emergency Management Agency uses to determine if a property is in a low risk area, flooding and high risk. Now it's important to understand that when we talk about low risk and high risk, we're really just talking about regulatory standpoint, because sometimes these maps could take up to 20 years to be updated. Now the goal is to have these updated within 5 years, but many times when these flood maps are released, they're already out of date. We see that across the country. The whole point is that these maps are used from a regulatory standpoint when it comes to flood mitigation across the country. You know, when we're talking about high risk areas, we're talking about those blue areas. It may say zone A or zone V. If we're talking about what's called non-special flood hazard area, also zone X, maybe not a blue area, maybe it's a brown area. These are non-required. So this is what the flood maps are. So where can you find them? Well, you can find them at the FEMA website on their map service. You can also find them on our website where we created a link for you to make it pretty easy. So how do these flood maps impact flood insurance rates? Now, the good news is as of late 2021, flood maps like you can see right here behind me actually do not impact flood insurance rates with the National Flood Insurance Program at all anymore when it comes to flood zone. The only thing they require is if you have a mortgage or maybe you've taken out disaster assistance. However, on the private side, when we're talking about private flood insurance companies, some of these companies still use flood zones or these different flood maps to determine a flood rate. That's something to think about when it comes to the insurance rates here. However, when it comes to the National Flood Insurance Program, those are no longer being used. Instead, they're looking at things like distance to water, replacement cost on the property, elevation, all these different things. So hopefully this guide helps you understand flood maps if you're a real estate agent, if you're a property owner, or a business owner who owns a building that's in one of these flood zones on the flood map. My name is Chris Green, and I want to say thank you for tuning in today's video on Guide to Flood Maps.